Hey guys, so I haven't made a video in a while. I wanted to kind of just give an update to you guys on some frequently asked questions that I've been getting a lot that I think are just good to go over for anybody that's interested in Google PPC or inbound marketing for motivated sellers. If you're a wholesaler, if you're a rehabber, or you're just kind of curious about the different platforms. Because I do a lot of calls like this, a lot of different, I speak to a lot of different people on the phone throughout the week, just kind of giving them an introduction to kind of what I do and seeing if this might be a good fit for them. So let's jump right into it. I'm just going to shrink this down. So basically, like I said, this is just a quick FAQ video, getting into inbound marketing for wholesaling and investing. Now, these are basically the four questions that I usually answer on the first call that I have with people. So if you ever do want to hop on a call with me and you want to kind of, go over just kind of your specific situation, if this might be something that might be a good fit for you, by all means, I'm more than happy to speak with you. But these are the questions that I usually get. Number one, kind of like who has the most success with inbound marketing, and what exactly are they doing? That's kind of what most people want to know. They want to know, like, how does it work? What are they doing that actually makes it work? And is this right for me, basically, right? And then, kind of what platform to use. Is it just Google PPC? Should I think about Facebook? What about SEO? Like, some people have a lot more experience with this. They've been doing it for a long time. They know exactly what they need. Other people are totally new and just need to kind of understand the difference. Also, where can I target? Where should I target? That's another big question. Some people have a very specific set of targets in mind that they want to go after. Other people are just kind of like, well, I know I want to do Google PPC. I'm looking at maybe doing semi-nationwide, or I'm looking at virtual wholesaling, but I'm not really sure where to target. How does that work? And then, of course, everyone wants to kind of know, what does it actually realistically cost to actually try this out and to actually, to test this out and see if it's going to work for my business. So I'm just going to go through all four of these really quickly in this video, because there are very clear answers to all these. So who has the most success with inbound marketing for this industry, and what exactly are they doing? So number one, I usually work with wholesalers who may also be rehabbing, and they're usually doing semi-nationwide virtual wholesaling. That is who has the most success with this form of inbound marketing, with Google PPC in particular. And what are they doing? Like I said, they are targeting semi-nationwide, or at least they are targeting as many markets as they are comfortable with. The more markets generally that you target, the better. That's one of the questions that we're going to get into. But I tend to not usually work with too many people that are only doing rehabs, for example. Or they are only looking just to buy properties to invest, like, buy and holds. I'm basically probably 90-something% of my clients are they are wholesaling, and yes, they may also be rehabbing in addition to that, or working with or helping rehabbers and flippers. But primarily, I'm working with wholesalers because that is what keeps that revenue that they generate from closing deals from wholesale deals is what keeps the marketing machine going, so to speak. And that is with Google PPC. Now, when it comes to what platform to use, yes, you can try Facebook, but the majority of the people that I work with are using Google PPC, and the reason is because leads that come from Google are much more motivated than leads that come from Facebook. SEO is an option, and I'll get into this. SEO is definitely an option if you are, let's say that you are a rehabber, and or you're just a flipper, or you are a wholesaler that really just wants to stay in your local market, and you have a long-term mindset in mind, and you are thinking, you're thinking in terms of building a long-term asset for your business. In that case, SEO actually would be much better for a very local campaign. But if you are trying to target locally with Google PPC, it can become very difficult, and we'll get that into the next question here. But in terms of what platform to use, I always recommend Google PPC to start. Facebook, you have to keep in mind. So if somebody's on Facebook, they have their phone, right? They're just scrolling through their news feed, and then they come across an ad that we have set up, and they get, basically we interrupt their attention. Facebook is attention-based marketing. It's interruption-based marketing, meaning that we're trying to put an ad creative, an image, and use headlines and things to grab their attention, get them to pay attention to our ad, and then guide them through to fill out the form and etc. And so their mindset may or may not be on selling their house. They may or may not be very motivated, but the algorithm is very good at showing the ads continuously to people who generally are selling homes. But the difference with Google PPC is that those people are typing in specific search terms on Google. So they're actually typing in, how do I sell my house fast, or I want to sell my house cash, or we buy houses, XYZ. And so we know that those are motivated search terms, and they're actually taking that first step. They're initiating and going and looking for help, and then they are going onto your landing page or your site or whatnot, and they are actually submitting the form. And so that is a much higher motivation than Facebook. And so the conversion rates on Google are much higher, usually around 7%, and with Facebook they're more like 2%, maybe one out of every 50 leads or so. Now, Facebook is much cheaper, right? I don't have any clients that usually spend more than $2,000 a month on Facebook in terms of ad spend. They're normally spending about $1,500 a month, and you're never really going to spend much more than $2,000 on Facebook, just because if you get to that point, you're going to be getting a bunch of these leads because they are lower cost, and you might as well buy back more of your time. You're going to get less leads with Google because they are more expensive, but they are going to be higher motivated, and you're going to close more of them. So at that point, most people just either switch to PPC or they start with PPC in general, and they just scale with Google. Facebook is good for branding, it's good for volume of leads, but it does require so much more long-term follow-up, and you really need a team to be continuously kind of, pinging these leads, unless you have some sort of automations in place. But even then, it is a lot more volume to deal with. And so in my opinion, it's better to have less leads that are higher quality and close a higher percentage with Google and be able to scale that more easily than you would with Facebook. But like I said, SEO, of course, doesn't require an ad spend budget. That is just, you're putting money into having your website worked on and ranked up over time organically on Google to the first page and whatnot for specific keywords that are local to the area that you want to target. And that's why SEO can be a great asset long term. It does take 6 to 9 months to actually ramp up, but that is good if you're a wholesaler and you're considering just doing local targeting, or if you're just a rehabber and you're not looking at doing virtual wholesaling, you're not trying to do semi-nationwide, you don't want to deal with all that. You're just doing several deals throughout the months and the years or the quarters and whatnot per quarter, and you're really kind of going for higher quality. Again, SEO is a good long-term asset to be building. Now this gets into the targeting. So where can I target? What's the best places to target? I've got a lot of clients that they basically send me a long list of counties all across the U.S. that they have selected, where they know that if they get leads from there, they're happy to get those leads. And that's due to how quickly they can move the deals, kind of the spreads on the deals, the ARV and all those different things that they look at for those locations. But basically, the way that we do the targeting is either by county, or we select a bunch of cities and we do a certain mile radius around those cities. The wider those targets are, obviously the easier it is for Google to get you leads within that target range. But the biggest issue is that let's say you have 5 counties in LA that you want to target, and that's it, you are basically competing against everyone bidding in LA, and you're competing against all those local bids, and you're competing against the people that are marketing nationwide. So this becomes an issue because your cost per click will go up tremendously. Our average cost per click, meaning that the average cost of every time someone clicks on your ad and lands on your landing page, is about $35. But when you start to do very local targeting, that may be $60, that may be $100, like it may be $70 or something. Like it can go up tremendously, and that will absolutely raise your cost per lead, right? If our landing page converts at 20%, which both of our landing pages do, on average, then you're going to have an average cost per lead of $175. A semi-nationwide campaign for the majority of my clients, their cost per lead is actually around maybe 130 to 140 or something like that, depending on the campaign. With the semi-nationwide campaign, sometimes it's down closer to 100, maybe it's around 150 for maybe a statewide campaign, maybe it's closer to 185, 200, but that keeps the cost per lead at a reasonable level. Whereas if you start doing very local, especially in a competitive market, your cost per lead can vary widely. I've had clients that have started very local campaigns and it did fine for a while, and then we just start to see inconsistency issues as the campaign fluctuates throughout the year with changes in competitors or different seasons or the real estate market changing. Or the campaign just doesn't have enough, it does not generate enough leads, so it's not getting enough data, and it can't really figure out how to get off the ground. The algorithm struggles and it stalls out. So this is why I highly recommend going wider in your targeting, and if you cannot, I recommend SEO is a great one to be building long term. So in terms of, now the last thing that people want to ask is like, okay, so they have this vision for, so they just need to know where they want to target. They understand that, you understand that you're going to be doing, semi-nationwide, or you're going to be targeting multiple markets at least, right? Or maybe you're thinking, okay, we're just going to do half the state, of, whatever state it is that you're in, or maybe you're doing statewide, if people that just like to do statewide. Whatever you need to do, you're going to come up with your targeting. You're going to understand, okay, Google PPC is going to give me the highest, usually the highest quality leads compared to the other platforms, right? And the reason you're going to be doing inbound is either to diversify your marketing or to reinvest profits from current marketing into, another channel to continue scaling, or you're looking for more consistency, or, you're trying to buy back your time, whatever it is. And you understand that Google's the best way to do that. Maybe you're more local, and then maybe, like I said, SEO might be better. But and then you want to know, okay, so how long do I need to try this out for it to be effective? How much is that going to cost? How do I need to think about that? This is another very, very important thing that a lot of people, I think, go into inbound marketing and they don't have the right expectations on. So number one is that I have my labor costs monthly, right? And if you want to hop on a call with me, we can talk about that. But I mean, basically, there's no secret. It's very simple. I do $1,500 a month, and it's a 3-month agreement. The reason we do the 3-month agreement is because it doesn't make sense to try out inbound marketing if you're going to do it for less than 90 days. I mean, just, when you look at the average time it takes for a real estate deal to close, like, you're not even going to be able to tell how things are working if you don't do it for at least 3 months. That being said, the best practice is to look at your overall ROI from inbound marketing or any marketing source over a 6-month period. That will give you a much better picture of is this working or not. But minimum, you need to do a 90-day test. Otherwise, it's not worth it for me or you. And then so that's one thing. There's my labor costs for my service. And I can go into all the details. Again, if you ever want to hop on a call, I can go over all the details of what exactly we're doing in terms of optimization, the CRM we set up, the follow-up campaigns, the landing page, the domains, linking everything up, getting you a phone number to use, integrations into your CRM, whatever it is that we're going to do. That's all part of that. Now, how much do you have to pay Google in terms of ad spend to run these ads, right? Because you're paying per click. That's what Google PPC is. You're paying per click on your ads. So number one is that all of my clients, normally I don't have any clients that are spending less than $3,000 a month on Google. The reason for this is because if you're not spending at least $3,000 a month, you're probably not going to be getting enough leads in your account for the account to actually run efficiently. Google campaigns and ad accounts will actually really start to struggle if you are not getting in at least 10 leads per month in your account. So we want to make sure that you're spending enough for that actually to make sense. Now, that's going to be much easier to do with the semi-nationwide campaign, like I said again. So if you're thinking about doing very local targeting, yes, we can try it out. We can do a test. It's just that you have to have the expectation that this could go either way because it gets more expensive, which leads to inconsistencies, which may or may not work out for you long term. So that is why, like I keep saying, the majority of my clients are semi-nationwide and they're doing virtual wholesaling, and that's working well for the ones that are doing that. Now, again, the average cost in terms of ad spend that you're going to be doing per month is $3,000 to $5,000 per month. That's what most people start out with. I've managed accounts all the way up to $30,000 a month in ad spend, though. So if you do have a larger budget, you can spend more. But we just want to make sure that you're targeting, that you have enough search volume in your campaign to actually spend that amount of money. So most people will pick an amount that they're going to start with. We will basically track the lead quality. Well, basically, we want to cast a wide net at first, right? We want to get leads coming in. We want to see that data. We want to look at the lead quality. This is something that I kind of do different than maybe other agencies out there, is I actually meet with my clients, especially at the beginning, the first month and a half. We really want to be looking at, okay, what does the campaign look like in terms of lead flow, right, and volume? And second, what is the quality of these leads? Is the percentages of leads that you're getting in balance? You have to realize no campaign is going to ever be perfect. There's no agency out there, no campaign ever that you're going to run that's going to be perfect forever and always get better and never have any issues. What we want to see is consistency over the long term. So we want to look at the percentages, right? It's always a numbers game. We want to make sure that the number of leads that are not very good, right? Maybe they're listed, maybe they're wholesalers, maybe submitting on your form, maybe it's you're getting like some sort of sometimes we have fake leads that actually submit on the form. Sometimes you'll get like I said, agents, or maybe they don't have motivation. Those are all areas that we don't want to see you having a ton of leads of. We want to make sure that that balance is correct. And so that is something that I meet with my clients on, and we look at where are these leads coming from in the campaign? How can we adjust the landing page and qualify better to sort that out? We want to get that sorted from the beginning. And then over the long term, we want to make sure that if there are any changes that happened throughout the year, as the campaign's always going to fluctuate. It's never linear. We want to make sure that that stays in balance and that we kind of course correct as needed as we go along and working together as partners on your inbound marketing campaign. So realistically, that's kind of what you're looking at. Month one is kind of, like I said, looking at lead flow. Month two, we're really looking at the quality and whatnot, and make sure that the things are starting to be consistent and whatnot. Month three, then we're kind of looking at, okay, do we want to change your ad spend in terms of increasing it? Do we want to add retargeting into that campaign now? There are other things that we can start to begin to scale with, depending on how things are going for you. So this has been about a 15-minute long video so far. I hope that that's helpful. This is a lot of the information that I just told you is basically a lot of the information that I give to people when they first hop on a call with me. And I'm more than happy to speak to you in your specific situation as well. Just go ahead and click on my link. It'll be linked in the description of this video, and you can literally just book a call in there. It's usually just a 20-minute call or so. And if you have any additional questions or want to see more, I'm always happy to hop on a Zoom meeting and actually sit down and show you all of this stuff and kind of what it looks like, if that's helpful to you as well. So anyways, guys, please comment down below if you have any questions. I would like to make more of these videos. I would like to start to build this channel out more, provide more value and information to everybody as much as I can, so that this becomes like a well and a resource for you guys to go to when you're trying to sort through this stuff and what might be the best path forward for you and your business. Anyways, you guys have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your week or night or evening or morning or wherever you are. And I will talk to you soon. Thanks.